Hey, it's Jeff Wade here with stockideas.org, and today I just want to do a quick book review of All the President's Bankers by Nomi Prins, The Hidden Alliances That Drive American Power. So the title kind of says it all here, and the subtitle, I guess. This book, starts almost with the Founding Fathers, not quite, but sort of, early 1900s. And it just looks at the banking establishment and the political establishment and how they were, kind of intertwined or overlapping. And then the book proceeds for the next 700 or 500 pages or so in chronological order through the decades. It just follows one president after another and really depicts their relationships with their key bankers or financiers, again, as the title talks about. Now, as the subtitle sort of implies, this book, these aren't necessarily relationships that people are trumpeting about. The author definitely did some digging to find some of these relationships and associations between the White House and Wall Street. It's certainly an interesting book. If you're interested in the history of modern finance, it's a really interesting read. Not unlike The Great Deformation, which I did a book review on previously. Kind of similar, except this one is a little bit more person-driven. Each kind of chapter or each chapter, each section is sort of about a certain president and their key influences, or their most influential bankers that they associate with. And I think the most kind of interesting part about this book, at least for me, was how finance ties into American policy, and particularly foreign policy. So I think the book does a really great job articulating and illustrating the role that finance plays or has played over the last 100 years or so in America's ascent to global hegemony. Let's call it what it is. I think it's really quite fascinating because it's a story that isn't told that often, short of Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. I forget his name, but I did a book review on that recently. Or one of the first ones I did actually was Confessions of an Economic Hitman. And this book is kind of like the backstory to that book. It's sort of like how all that situation came to be. How did it arrive that the bankers on Wall Street and the most powerful firms have a direct line to the White House. It's not a totally homogenous story. There are some presidents who, kind of tried to give Wall Street the cold shoulder. And then there are others who embrace them with open arms. So, the book kind of does a neat job of documenting in each president's relationship with Wall Street as well. And that was another kind of interesting angle that the author uncovers. But really, I recommend this book to anyone who's sort of interested in, understanding a little bit how things are working behind the scenes and how they got that way, how we got where we are today. And particularly, with this book in the case, obviously, of how, the alliance between the financial heavy hitters and the White House and the president, how that's really influenced American policy over the years, and again, especially foreign policy. That's sort of one of the bigger focuses in this book. So if that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to check out All the President's Bankers. You can even lend it to your friends, as I did, which will cause you to get some water damage on the book, but that's okay. So if this sounds up your alley, I encourage you to hit the link below this video. Click through to stockideas.org. You can read a much more in-depth book review. You can click through to Amazon read the reviews there and see if All the President's Bankers is the right finance book for you. So thanks very much for watching. You can click to subscribe to my channel for more book reviews, and please visit stockideas.org as well. Thanks very much.